Welcome to the world of crypto. I keep saying this, and I'll say it again, the short-term price swings. They really don't matter. But if you've truly done your homework on XRP like I have, you'll realize all this daily volatility is just background noise. What I'm focused on is the bigger picture, a total market cap headed toward $3.75 trillion, and eventually somewhere between $10 and $100 trillion. That's where the real opportunity lies. So right now, whenever I've got extra funds, I'm scooping up more XRP. If not, I'm just holding firm and staying patient. In the meantime, I've been focused on positioning myself smartly. One of the key platforms I use is Caleb & Brown. That's where I store some of my XRP. What I love is that they offer institutional-grade custody at no cost. And I get direct access to a real human being, not some faceless support email or chatbot. I literally had an email convo with them today. Having someone to talk to in the crypto world, that's rare and powerful. Plus, I get access to top-tier liquidity from multiple institutional providers. That means if I ever need to cash out, I know I'll be able to do so without any issues. If you're curious, head over to xrpwealth589.com. It'll take you straight to my dedicated page with Caleb & Brown. And hey, if you're thinking about opening an account, go ahead and hit that sign-up button today. This had me cracking up this morning. President Trump came out swinging and called anti-crypto Elizabeth Warren a loser. Look, I didn't need Trump to say that for me to already know it, but still, it's hilarious that he did. Then you've got this guy, Robert Breedlove, who tries to be clever and calls XRP an acronym for extremely retarded person. Like, really, Robert? I couldn't help but laugh. So I responded with, XRP's up 554% this year, while Bitcoin's only up 120%. But sure, we're the dumb ones, right? Not that I condone the language, of course. Just highlighting the irony. Anyway, moving on. There's this video I was watching, and it actually started off pretty solid. You should check out the beginning at least. But then, oh man, the delusion kicks in hard. Over time, I've realized that a lot of the content from Bitcoin maxis online is just pure paid-for fantasy. Not saying these guys are on someone's payroll, but I am saying that around 85% of the Bitcoin maximalists seen on social media bought and paid for. You can actually watch the shift happen in the video. They start off joking about XRP, then they come across some hard facts and just can't deal with it. It's like cognitive dissonance in real time. Now, everyone keeps talking about a golden age of crypto. Well, guess what? XRP's golden era might just be kicking off right now. So let's talk XRP news, and there's a lot to get into. First off, XRP is making moves into the ETF space, previously dominated by Bitcoin and more recently Ethereum. A new issuer, and I hope I say this right, to cream. We'll get it eventually, but soon you might be saying, BlackRock who? This firm, to cream, which has mostly been focused on agricultural ETFs for the past 16 years, is now diving into XRP, and get this, their XRP ETF is already their most successful product ever. That's huge, and that's just the start. We're now seeing companies adopt XRP as a corporate treasury asset. This week alone, we had two big announcements. Hyperscale Data Inc., ticker GPUs on the NYSE, said they're purchasing $10 million worth of XRP to hold on their balance sheet. It's not a massive figure, but definitely a statement. Logistics Health ticker, WGRX on NASDAQ, is going even further. They're planning to make XRP their main treasury asset, using both existing funds, and possibly even issuing debt to accumulate more. Plus, they're building out an XRP-based payment system. They're clearly in on the XRP ecosystem, and there's more. XRP futures on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange CME hit record highs in July, with open interest reaching $750 million. That's a clear sign that institutional demand for regulated XRP exposure is growing fast. To top that off, Coinbase Institutional announced they're launching Nano XRP perpetual futures, giving institutions a new way to gain exposure. Smart timing, considering the momentum CME is seeing. And speaking of Coinbase, XRP has officially outtraded Ethereum on the platform during the first half of the year. XRP made up 16% of all trades, while Ethereum sat at 15%. That's according to Coinbase themselves. One of the guys on the panel literally shakes his head in disbelief. Then, they totally lose the plot. They start talking about Ripple's stablecoin, RLUSD, and how it could be part of future US financial infrastructure. There's even mention of old government docs hinting that Ripple's technology could be used for transferring US dollars. For example, there's a Department of Homeland Security report from 2015 that suggests Ripple could be leveraged for domestic payments. That document gets cited a lot, and the XRP is going to be adopted by the government discussions, what these Bitcoin maximalists don't talk about? The fact that Ripple has applied for a Federal Reserve Master account, which, if approved, would bring RLUSD under the Fed's oversight. They also conveniently ignore the reality that Bitcoin can't do payments at scale, can't issue stablecoins, can't tokenize assets. They know this, they just won't say it out loud. So yeah, I might sound like the usual party pooper, but someone has to cut through the noise. Let's not forget the US government keeps saying there's no plan for a CBDC. Yeah, but XRP, it's already making moves in the background. Honestly, it's almost laughable at this point. They'll never call it a CBDC, not officially. They'll rename it, rebrand it, reframe it, anything but admit what it really is. And listening to these guys talk, man, it's like a headache. In audio form, now check this out. This comes from an old XRP post. Apparently, people were being paid 5 Bitcoin just to spread anti-XRP propaganda. Back in the early days on Bitcoin Talk, before Twitter or crypto YouTube were really a thing, that forum was the central hub for all things Bitcoin. According to the post, you could literally earn 5 BTC for writing fake posts claiming XRP was centralized, or a scam, or whatever narrative they wanted to push. Think about that, 5 Bitcoin just to trash XRP online. If you dig into the old threads, the chatter about it is still there. This kind of coordinated disinfo is where most of the anti-XRP nonsense originated, and it's still circulating to this day. The Bitcoin maxi brainwashing runs deep. So I ask, with all that as context, how many millions do you think have been poured into keeping XRP in the shadows over the past decade? We're talking blackouts across mainstream and crypto media. Endless lawsuits, FUD campaigns, drama, coordinated short attacks, followed by the same people going on air and saying, yeah, we're short XRP, but it's just a bad project. It's been a full-blown war. And yet XRP is still here, still building, still climbing. That says everything you need to know. And then, of course, there's Fidelity. Yep, they've officially entered the Bitcoin maxi echo chamber. Their messaging? Something like altcoins bring some innovation? Sure. But Bitcoin is uniquely decentralized, secure, and built to last, blah, blah, blah. Classic maxi narrative. And I just had to laugh. Said it's going to be a wild show the day Bitcoin becomes an altcoin. Total Bitcoin Armageddon. Get your popcorn ready. Now, over to our old friends at Ethereum, the Bankless Podcast, sometimes better known as the Clueless Podcast. No offense. Actually, yeah, offense. I said. Grown men will cry, and not because of Ethereum. Accidentally poetic, but it rhymes. Now, when people try to make the case for ETH flipping Bitcoin, or that ETH word, which I won't even say anymore, they usually bring out the same dusty old arguments. Like, Bitcoin's security budget will dry up, quantum computing will wreck it. ETH is more future-proof because it's evolving faster. The idea is that Ethereum will somehow rise to take the top spot by default. What? Where does that kind of shift show up in a chart? Is that even measurable? Even the Bankless guys admit they don't see that happening. In fact, one of them basically says, I'd be the guy still denying it until I'm proven embarrassingly wrong face. Turned inside out. Respect the honesty, I guess. They go on to talk about quantum computing like it's some far-off crypto apocalypse. A threat since 2017. And yeah, maybe it'll be an issue someday. But if you spend your whole life waiting for sci-fi scenarios to come true, you'll never invest in anything. Oh, and of course someone drops the Satoshi wildcard too, you know? What if Satoshi comes back? Is that whole fear-mongering playbook? And here's the thing. Even if Bitcoin did collapse, that wouldn't be the end of crypto. It might shake things in the short term, sure. But once actual utility starts flowing and real-world use cases start dominating, the ecosystem evolves. Always has. And I've honestly always suspected that might be part of the plan all along. If you want to go deeper, check out diexrp.com. That'll take you to the Patreon. Or if you'd rather join through YouTube, just click the join button under any video. You can also subscribe on X, formerly Twitter, for member-only content. Extended videos, no ads, full breakdowns, all in there. And just a quick reminder, I'm an investor, not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment only. So do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe, and share it with your crypto curious friends and family. Let's keep it moving.